Hey guys, we're going to perform a shoulder internal rotation kin stretch sequence. We're starting with shoulder controlled articular rotations, followed by shoulder capsule cars. Then we're going to get into a stretch, our pails and rails, and then we're going to repeat the shoulder cars and capsule cars weighted at the end. So getting straight into our shoulder controlled articular rotations, I'm going to have you start by taking your working arm, whichever arm is dictated in your programming, externally rotating it. So turning that elbow pit forward, and then I want you to adduct it across your midline. I need for you to tense up your entire body so that there's no compensatory movements coming from your torso or your scapula. So you're just trying to move from this joint, everything else is statue still. So from external rotation and adduction, I want you to start flexing your shoulder. So bring that arm up towards overhead. You're holding your arm adducted, coming into flexion and really working to hold this external rotation. Once you get into this Y position, externally rotated, I want you to wring out the dish rag and internally rotate your arm. So this internal rotation comes from the shoulder, not just wiggling your hand around. You're actually trying to think about winding out that shoulder. Then you're going to continue to go around through abduction, extension, the best extension you can possibly manage, keeping it internally rotated, and then bringing knuckles to side. Then you're going to reverse the movement. So you're going to extend the shoulder once more. When you get out into this A position, you're going to unring your dish rag, come into external rotation, and continue to reverse the movements. Come up towards flexion, come all the way across into adduction and back to your starting position. So let's go through 2 reps of that together. If you didn't already join me for that last rep, join me now. So externally rotate, adduct, begin to flex, bring the arm up overhead, hold your external rotation, don't let your torso move. Once you hit this Y position, internally rotate, shoulder all the way down, and then begin to abduct, extend, 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 extend as best you can. Bring your arm down by your side and reverse the movement. Extend, externally rotate from that A position. Continue coming through abduction all the way around into flexion. Get that arm overhead and adduct across your midline as you bring it back down. We've got 1 more rep just like that. So adduct and flex. Get all the way through into your Y position. Internally rotate. Begin to extend through this abduction field and bring it to your side. Extend again. Externally rotate. Abduct, flex, hold that external rotation, come all the way around across the midline into adduction and return by your side. So now that we've done our full shoulder cars, we're going to do some capsule cars. I want you to get up against a doorway. I'm going to use my squat rack just because it's what's here and it's available. And I want you to bring your elbow out so that your elbow is supported in the door frame and your elbow is at shoulder height. So you can see the position I'm in here. My armpit and my elbow are at 90-degree angles. I'm parallel with the door frame, so I'm not turned into the door frame. My arm isn't coming across my body. My chest and my hand are facing the same direction. From here, make a fist, make it nice and strong. I want you to raise your fist so that it's pointing at the ceiling to externally rotate. And then I want you to rotate internally and start pointing your fist towards the ground. When you feel that your shoulder is starting to come up, you've lost your internal rotation. Hold that shoulder down as you internally rotate. You're going to find a point where you kind of have this seesaw battle between shoulder and humerus. You want to stay in the humerus, not in the scapula. So internally rotate. Hold that shoulder down. I lose it a lot. And then begin to externally rotate. So join me for these. We've got 10 alternating. External rotation, hold 1, 2, 3. Internal rotation, hold 1, 2, 3. So I'm finding my end range and then I'm fighting for just a little bit more. externally rotate. Here's 3. I'm pushing back into my doorway, squat rack. And internally rotate. I'm arm wrestling the ghost. 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Here's 8. 1, 2, 3. Last 2. 1, 2, 3. Last 1. 1, 2, 3. So I want you to think about this position now that we're getting into our stretch. Your shoulders should be nice and warm. Now I want you to come from this position and I want you to rotate your body 90 degrees. So your fingertips are going to be pointing across your chest. If you were in a side lying position to do this, like you were on the floor, this would be how you would look. But we're just going to use a standing position and a doorway here. So we're going to be doing a 1-minute stretch followed by 45 seconds worth of pails and rails. So your stretch, you can go ahead and get into your stretch. Your stretch is holding the shoulder down and then gently pressing your wrist down to take your hand kind of sloping down towards the floor. Some people are going to be like way down here. Some people are going to be where I am, which is about here. It's about a 15, maybe 20 degrees of internal rotation. It's not very good. However, we're going to stretch here. So go ahead and get in your stretch position. 3, 2, 1, and begin your stretch. Our pails and rails components are going to be actively pressing this working arm up into your wrist, not allowing it to go anywhere. So you're generating pressure up as though you were going to do this against the wrist. And then your rails component is going to be pressing down like you're trying to arm wrestle that ghost a little bit more. Those are 45 seconds holds. They're going to be pretty intense. So I want you to not overwork yourself. Think in the 60% max effort range. We've got just under 30 seconds left before we get into our pails component. So you should be holding this shoulder down, breathing and relaxing into the stretch. It's a pretty intense stretch for me, honestly. Get ready to do your pails. Remember, that's pressing your bottom wrist up into your top wrist or hand. 3, 2, 1. So start your push. I'm pressing my bottom hand up into my top hand, not allowing it to go anywhere. And I'm building pressure until I just barely start to shake a little bit. It's a little intense, but not so intense that I can't hold it for 45 seconds. By the end of 45 seconds, you should be like, I am ready to stop now. Got 22 seconds left. Just keep pushing. If you feel like you need to back off on your push a little bit, do so. Push, 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 push. 10 seconds left, and then we're going to go into rails, which is going the opposite direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that shoulder down and arm wrestle the ghost. So you're actively trying to press it down. That's intense. Press it down, press it down, press it down. Arm wrestle that ghost. You'll notice I took my non-working arm away. I just feel like I don't really need it when I'm doing the rails contraction. My shoulder's burning like crazy. 20 seconds left. I'm wiggling my knees because I'm really uncomfortable. 12 seconds. Arm wrestle that ghost. Hold the shoulder down, remember, important. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then go ahead and capture your arms. Stay here. Take a couple of deep breaths. Just relax. Find your end range again. Just chill. Once you feel like you've kind of come down from that, you can go ahead and, take your arm down. So then now that we've done our stretch and pails and rails, we're gonna do a weighted set of shoulder cars and then a weighted set of capsule cars. So if you're super duper buff, you could grab like a 5-pound dumbbell. I'm gonna use a 2-pound dumbbell. You could even use a 1-pound dumbbell, or you can do body weight if weighted just seems too challenging for you. So Just like we did in the beginning, we're gonna go through our shoulder CARs again. I want you to take your arm by your side, externally rotate, turning that elbow pit up, adduct across your midline, and begin to flex through the shoulder. It's gonna be a lot harder when you have this weight in your hand. You wanna make sure that you're not compensating by rotating your torso, shrugging your shoulder up, keep the shoulder neutral, and just keep your shoulder in the position that it needs to be in. Statue up the rest of your body. So come through shoulder flexion, keep that external rotation. Once you hit this Y position, wring out the dish rag and internally rotate from the shoulder. Start to work your way back into abduction and extension. Go, 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 go. Hold your core nice and tight. Eventually your knuckles are gonna come to your side. Reverse the movement. Extend. When you hit this A position, I want you to unring the dish rag, externally rotate, continue through this abduction into overhead flexion, across the midline, back into adduction, and then back to your side. So let's do a second rep of that. Cross the midline, externally rotate, adduct, come up into flexion, hold that external rotation as hard as you can. Now internally rotate from this Y position, internally rotate at the shoulder, keep your shoulder neutral, don't shrug way up, make sure that you're holding it neutral, not down, not up, somewhere in between. Abduction into extension, hold your torso nice and still, arm by your side, extend again. Once you hit A, unring your dish rag, externally rotate. Keep trying to fight for that extension, abduction, abduction, adduction, abduction, 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 all the way around into flexion and adduct across your midline as you come back down. So that was our 2 reps of that. Now we're gonna go through the same capsule CARs that we went through before. We're gonna do them in the exact same position. So with your elbow at shoulder height, armpit, 90-degree angle, elbow, 90-degree angle, up against the doorway. We're gonna go into external rotation here. Press your hand back against the door jamb, whatever you're using, and then go into internal rotation. Fight the ghost. Hold the shoulder down, don't let it rock up, and then come back into external rotation. We're gonna do 10 alternating of these. Press back, this is 3, 1, 2, 3. Internally rotate, hold the shoulder down. 1, 2, 3, there was 4. Externally rotate, press backwards, 1, 2, 3. Internally rotate, press down, 1, 2, 3. That was 6. External, press back, fight for external rotation, really push into the wall. Internal, press forward as though you could low 5 the wall, but you probably can't. Hold that shoulder down, 1, 2, 3. Here was 8, got 2 more. External, press, 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 press. And last one, internal, push, 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 push. And that was the end of our set. So that was shoulder internal rotation, kin stretch sequence.